it together? What did it look like? How did it happen? Were you in bed one day and you said, I'm going to create a podcast? Like, just tell me about that.
Well, it happened because I wrote this article that for the Huffington Post, and it went viral. The messages I got back happened during the time that I was taking a podcasting class at the Writing Pad. Shout out to them. I love the Writing Pad. And I had to come up with an idea for a podcast in that class.
Okay.
So I came up with all these messages that I was getting back, that I got back after the article went live, were hashtag the only one in the room. Because I was the only black
Right.
person at this 600-person writers retreat where everyone was white.
Right.
And so that seemed like a natural name for the podcast, but I didn't know that I was actually going to do a podcast. I was doing it for this class because I had never listened to a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know more about them because I was building my author's platform.
Nice.
So I ended up, a friend of ours, Josh Levine, who's been a guest on the show, he's been a longtime friend of mine. Shout out to him. He's always connecting me with people, and he connected me with Allison Marino, who is the CEO and founder of the podcast network that we're on, Lipstick and Vinyl. Christina Barcy, our executive producer, was with Allison at the meeting that we had. And we were in bed, Scott and I turned to him and I said, if I do this podcast, because it looks like it actually might happen, you should produce it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, what does that mean? And I said,
Yeah, exactly.
well, I said, it's just basically doing all the stuff I don't want to do.
There you go. That's
It's like, that's
great
what I do
description.
anyway.
And that is what you do anyway.
That's
Exactly. Yeah, so that's how that came about.
That's a great story. And so
Yeah.
you guys just took the necessary steps to make it happen.
Yeah.
How has it been working together? What's that experience been like?
For me, it's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to my parallel play thing that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like working with him. I feel like we're connected because we're doing the same thing in the same places at the same time. He really does take care of all the stuff that I wanted. Like, you know, when you go on www.theonlyonepod.com, that's our website. Scott built that. All of the merchandise that's on there, he made the store. All the photographs that are on there, he took.
Yes. Great.
All that stuff that I don't know how to do. I would probably tear my hair out trying to do it. You know, I'm the creative, and I write and I book the guests, and you know, I create the interview format, but all the other stuff is really essential stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I could do it. You know, you never know what you can do if, you know, given the opportunity, but boy, I would be really hard pressed to do it all, and I would have this would not be an enjoyable process for me
Right.
if I had to do all of that. So sharing it with him makes it really, I'm able to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
That's great. Wonderful. And Scott, how's it been for you?
It's been amazing. It's hard. It's challenging. It's not my thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just got back from a week in Mexico and I surfed every day, and that's kind of my thing. Like, I really enjoy that space. And but what I do notice is that it challenges me in a way that I really internally and deeply want to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want it externally. I don't like to be uncomfortable, and I don't like to do things that I don't know until I see the result, and then I like it.
So you really had to get out of your comfort zone.
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
I have. And, you know, one of the interesting things is what she was saying about, you know, that intimate time and working together and the parallel play thing has been, I have a real hard time separating the work time from the intimacy time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most challenging things, I think, is sometimes I will throw myself into work thinking that will qualify as intimacy time.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, I'll do a project for her thinking, if I do a good job on this, she'll be really happy.
Right.
And then I'll be confusing that with the time that I really just want her to put the computer down and pay attention to me.
Right, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had to really draw a line between, like, this is work and this is us.
Mm-hmm.
And that line is mostly for me, but I think she sees me do that. And, you know, we have been more committed to work than we have been to our personal time, I think,
Mm-hmm.
for the last year. And that's okay. You know, this is new for us.
Right.
And one more thing I'll say about this, I knew that when we started this project that I had a choice. Like, I could let her do this, and then I could be resentful and go do whatever, to go do my Hawaii or whatever, go
Right.
be in the sun and be happy with that. Or I could get on board with this and help her create something, and be a part of it that way.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself that, I think where we're headed with this thing is, my understanding of love is that it's a giving thing. It's not a getting thing.
Sure, yeah.
And so I saw this opportunity to be a part of the podcast as a way to give and lift
Mm-hmm.
her, instead of for me to get something out of it.
Well, then here you go, acts of service,
Yes.
which is her
Yes.
love language.
It
Yes.
is. It absolutely is.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and that is what's made it work.
Mm-hmm.
Even though sometimes, like I said, you can ask these guys in the studio, I come in kicking and screaming when the traffic sucks, or
Right.
I'm uncomfortable, or
Mm-hmm.
but I always get through it, and I always find that it's rewarding on the other side of it. And like when I look at, like this morning, I was looking at the pictures of our website, The Only One Pod, and I was really proud of this catalog of guests that we have. It's
Yeah, you guys should be proud. It's been amazing.
it's cool.
Mhm.
So we're going to wrap it up, and I just want to end on one question for
Uh-oh.
each of you. Okay. Given how well you know each other, if you had to make one wish come true for each other, what would that wish be?
Yeah, that's a brutal.
If you can make one wish come true for Scott, Laura, what would it be? And Scott, if you can make one wish come true for Laura, what would it be?
I don't know if this is the answer, but the first answer that came into my head would be to make it so that he is able physically to surf for as long as he wants to be able to.
Oh, that's a beautiful,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so he's physical fit and capable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's beautiful.
Well, thank you, honey.
Wow.
You're welcome, honey.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, what's your wish for Laura?
Oh my goodness, I'm terrible at these things. It's like buying a Christmas present without knowing what you want.
You want my list?
I do know your list.
No, that's cheating. You're cheating.
I like to cheat.
I like to cheat.
I do.
He does.
I like
He does
to-
like to cheat.
Contextually
like
in this
to-
conversation, that's not a great statement.
Right? Right?
Right?
I think I don't know if this is even possible, but given the role that I found in your life, it would be for you to not suffer at all,
Ever.
ever.
Yeah.
But
Oh, honey.
Oh, that's going to make me cry.
Oh,
That's it, I'm
yeah.
done.
Thank you, honey.
I know that's impossible.
Yeah.
So I guess I see my job is to minimize that in your life.
Yeah. Thank you, honey. Love you.
I'm trying.
Okay, we're all crying now.
Ah, good.